How do you actually become a great rhythm guitar player? To figure out this, I sat underneath a tree for 7 days straight. And on day 7, it all made sense. So in this video, you learn what I discovered. First, the 3 elements of rhythm guitar, and then how to use them. So you know exactly how to be a great rhythm guitarist. My name is Simon, I've been playing guitar for over 15 years, have a degree in music, and built a learning platform, playwithaplan.com, where guitar players are improving every day. Before we get into the good stuff, there's one important thing you have to understand. As a professional guitarist, I can tell you that there's a lot of bad advice out there on rhythm guitar. Why? Because people struggle to understand what rhythm guitar really is. Which honestly is understandable, because rhythm guitar is basically 90% of all guitar playing. And it can be so many things, like strumming, picking, finger picking, palm muting, riffs, timing, funky chords, and many more. But if rhythm guitar is 90% of all guitar playing, how do you actually become better at rhythm guitar? And good news, that's exactly what you'll learn now, because we're going to break it down into 3 elements. And we start with element 1, which is chords. Imagine that you get a chord progression, and you want to turn this into a great rhythm guitar part. The first step is to just find some good chords to play. Just chords at this point and nothing else. This is a big topic itself, but I'm going to give you some guidelines. For this video, I'm going to assume that you know some major and minor bar chords. If not, it's totally fine. Then you're just going to learn some new chords as well. Anyway, there are so many different chords you can play, but a good rule of thumb is to choose chords that are as close together as possible. To do this, you can follow 2 simple steps. So let's walk through the steps with some chords. You're going to use these chords: C, D minor, A minor, and G. For first chord, we just have to choose one, basically. We're going to use this one. So from the A string, that's going to be 3. Then we get 5, 5, 5. And I like to use my third finger as a bar. But you can also play it with fingers if you prefer. Alright, so the next chord in the progression is going to be D minor. So we want to choose a D minor, which is close to the C major. Step 1 is to find the root note on the 2 lowest strings. That's going to be the 5th fret of the A string and 10th fret of the low E string. And step 2 is to play the chord from the closest root note. In this case, that's going to be the 5th fret of the A string, because this one is really far away. So then we just play a D minor from this root note. We're going to play this chord. So from the A string, that's going to be 5, 7, 7, 6. And you can stop here if you want to, but we're going to add 5 on the high E string as well. I'm going to use our first finger as a bar. Okay, and the next chord we're going to play is A minor. So step 1, find the root note on the 2 lowest strings. You have this one on the A string, or potentially an open string, and the 5th fret of the low E string. And this one is going to be the closest one by far. Then we can play A minor from this note. So from low E string, that's going to be 5, 7, 7. Then use your finger as a bar on all of the notes on the 5th fret. It's a tricky one, so don't feel like you have to play all the notes. It's totally fine to skip some of them. Next chord in the progression is G major. The step 1 is to find the root note on the 2 lowest strings. On the A string, that's going to be the 10th fret. On the low E string, that's going to be the 3rd fret. And this is by far the closest one. So then we can go to step 2, play the chord from the closest root note. So then we can play G major from this one. So for this chord, we play 3 on the lowest string, 5, 5, 4, and 3, 3. And again, using our first finger as a bar. So let's recap what we have done so far. First, you got a chord progression, and we want to play these chords as close together as possible. And to do that, we're going to follow 2 steps. Step 1, find the root note on the 2 lowest strings. Step 2, play the chord from the closest root note. And these are the chords. Great success. By the way, I recommend to learn the 3 elements of rhythm guitar in level 3 of my guitar roadmap. If you think anything is confusing in this video, that means you're just missing some steps in your guitar journey. To figure out what you're missing and exactly what to learn next on guitar, check out the free guitar roadmap. The link is in the description. Next, it's time for element 2, which is groove. When you have chosen some good chords, the next step is to simply add a groove to the chords. And there are many grooves you can add to the chords, and it really depends on the song you're playing over. For example, this is a groove. This is another groove. This is a groove. So there are loads of ways to add groove to your chords. But now I want to teach you a very useful groove, and it sounds like this. So let's add the groove to the C major chord. And first, you want to play the bass note, then the whole chord. Then you play muted strums up and down. And the way to do that is to just lift your fingers slightly, so you get this muting sound. So you get this so far. Next, we play bass note 2 times. The first note is very short. And the way you do that is to just lift your finger slightly straight after you have played the note. Okay. Then we play the same thing as in the beginning. The full chord. Then up and down as muted strums. Okay, so the whole groove, slow. 3, 4. And a bit faster. 3, 4. Then, once you have learned a groove, then you can simply add the groove to all the chords. I managed to have 2 little sparkling water in the start of this video, so now I have almost nothing left. Next, it's time to really spice up your rhythm guitar, and we're talking about element 3, fills. First of all, it's important to understand what fills really are. Fills are short phrases that fill up space in the song. And when we are playing chords, fills are basically just short guitar solos you add in between the chords. And keep in mind, if there's already loads of stuff going on in the song, then you might not need any fills. But if there is some empty space in a song, then fills can be a great way to spice it up and make it more interesting. Next, I'll teach you some fills you can play on any of the chords I've covered so far. It's actually going to be the same fill for all the chords. And let's start with C major. This is going to be the fill. Okay, so that's 5 to 7 with a slide on the A string. Then on the two next strings, you play 5 and 5, both at the same time. And hammer on to 7 on a D string. And remove 7 and play 5-5 again. And finally 7 on the A string. So we get alright, so the whole fill is going to sound like this. 3, 4. Next, we go to D minor. I'm going to play the same kind of fill, just on D minor instead. To start on the 5th fret, on the D string. Hammer on to 7. Then you play 5 and 6 on the next two strings. Both at the same time. Hammer on to 7 on the G string. And then remove 7. Then play 7 on the D string. Right, so whole lick on D minor. 3, 4. Next, let's look at A minor. Here we can actually play the exact same fill as we did on C major. The only difference is that we use a hammer-on instead of a slide on the first notes. So we get this. 3, 4. Lastly, we have G major. This will also be the exact same as the C major, just one string lower. We start on the 5th fret of the low E string. Alright, so it will sound like this. Alright, so now we learned some fills you can play. Now I want to play through the chord progression, but I'll start with only chords. Then I'll add the groove, and then the fills. Most likely, you don't really need fills on all of the chords. That's probably going to be a bit too much. But you can add it a few times here and there. It totally depends on the song. We're just scratching the surface in this video. So if you want to become really good at rhythm guitar, I recommend to check out the full course I have on the topic. There I go through the 3 elements of rhythm guitar in detail, so you know exactly how to create and play amazing rhythm guitar. You'll also get access to the success path, which shows you exactly what to learn on guitar in order, with detailed courses on each topic. So just follow the success path and get better on guitar. Go to playwithaplan.com if you want to check that out. I'll leave the link in the description. To conclude this video, let's look at how to use the 3 elements in the best way possible. Now I've given you the tools to understand what you need in order to be a great rhythm guitar player. But the thing is that the best rhythm guitarists, they know how to serve the song in the best way possible. But how do you actually serve the song? Like, what does it actually mean specifically? And the way we can serve the song is to use the 3 elements of rhythm guitar. The thing is that you don't really need all of the 3 elements all of the time. You have to choose 1, 2, or all 3. So if a song already has 1 or more of the elements, then you can simply remove those elements from your playing. For example, if a song already has loads of groove going on, try to remove groove. If a song already has loads of fills, maybe you don't need any fills. Or maybe there's a piano playing loads of chords and fills already, then you can try to remove those. And so on. If you like this video, you're going to love the video on the screen next. Here you'll learn the frameworks of Jimi Hendrix's playing style and his approach to rhythm guitar and especially fills. Bye!